Sorry, guys. Because then they could only have black offspring, and that's not the case. What happened was they had some black and some white, so we know that big B is black. What's that all about? And little b is white. Good. So that means they had, and they were both black, so we know they each had a big B, because that's what they showed. What we don't know is here and here, except we kind of do. What do you know?
I would say they'd both be little bees because you produce some white, and the only way to get that, you have to have both little bees.
And if you got that right off the bat, you're going to have a very easy time for a little while here, because so many genetics problems are this. So many genetics problems are, hey, there's a dominant parent, and they have kids. Look at the kids. What are the genotypes of the parents? And pretty much you're looking for the recessive showing kid. If he's there, you know exactly what's going on. If there is even one white guinea pig from this cross, it has to be a little b here and a little b here. No doubt about it, right? Because that's the only way one of these squares has the white guinea pig offspring. If either one of these is big, make this one big, and suddenly this is big little, this is big big, this is big little. That's not it, right? It has to be the way I had it before. It has to be. Oh, that's nice. Have we answered the question yet? Yeah. Here's something to look out for in genetics problems is you're going to do the Punnet square and you're going to be like, I got it. And you won't have answered the question yet. The question was, what are the genotypes of the parents, right? So you want to take the time to go, okay, parents, this, and this. And then maybe circling the answer is always good. Okay, it's okay if you didn't do it, but from now on. Okay, next we have a question about plants, a purple flowered plant and a yellow flowered plant. Pick a letter.
E. Y.
R.
I like R. R is good. P is bad because it's going to trick you into thinking that purple is dominant. And purple is not dominant in this case. This is one of those rare cases where the light color is dominant. How do we know? Well, because a purple and a yellow had kids and all the offspring were yellow. And we're talking about plants and they say all the offspring. You can assume that's like, more than 10. It's a lot of seeds that grew and they were all yellow. That means that we said R, right? That means that yellow, whoa, you're right. That is so cool. Sorry. Big R is yellow and little r is purple. Whatever. Okay, so that first cross that we did, it's not even really an answer, but we might as well do it. First cross is big, big crossed with little, little. It looks all, that's Mendel, right? That's Mendel's first cross. That's the P generation giving rise to the F1. All of the offspring are going to be heterozygous. Good? Good. Well, we haven't really answered anything yet. Letter A, if one of the F1 plants, that's these guys, is cross-pollinated by a purple flowered plant, what % of the offspring could be expected to have purple flowers? So that is one of these, right? This crossed with purple, which would be what? With 2 little r's. Yeah, good. 2 little r's. We're going to wind up with this, 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 and this. What % would have purple flowers? Your answer is 50%. Circle it, done. Good? Except there's another section here. The F1 plant self-pollinated to produce 600 seeds. Uh-oh, math. F1, that's these. Self means this. We do this. And it says If all 600 grow into plants, what number of them could you expect to have purple flowers? 150, says Jack. How'd you do that, Jack? So Jack figured out that the purple flowered percentage of the offspring ought to be from this, which is 1/4, which is 25%. If there's 600, we would just divide that by 4 to get 150. Good job. Good? Everybody get it? Does that mean there's gonna be 150 purple plants? Not at all. If you flip a coin 10 times, will you get 5 heads and 5 tails? I mean, every once in a while. That's just the odds. That's just the probability, right? If you flip a coin 100 times, you'll get closer to what you expect. Right? Maybe it's 42 and 58. It might be exactly 50-50. It's just saying that every time you flip the coin, there's a 50% chance. It's saying that every time they have a baby, there's a 25% chance of a purple flower plant. Good? Doing great. Okay. Humans. Brown eyes dominant to blue eyes. Brown-eyed man, blue-eyed woman. No, stop. Pick a letter. Q. They told us brown eyes was dominant, right? That's brown eyes. This is blue eyes. And we said brown-eyed man, blue-eyed woman. Big Q, for sure. What's she? Two little Q's. Okay. Now, 10 kids, all brown-eyed. I will tell you right now, and this is good to know, with human at least, we tend to use 8 as our threshold of, okay, if they have 8 kids or more that all look the same, now we're above maybe 90-95% probability that we know what it is. So if they've had 10 kids and every single one of them is brown-eyed, what is that second letter for dad? Probably a big Q. Yeah. What's probably going on is that all the kids are brown-eyed because they're all heterozygous. What was the question? What is the probable genotype of these two parents? So, probable genotype is dad is this. We know mom is this. Okay, that's your answer. Good? Moving on. Dimpled and non-dimpled. Dimpled is dominant. What was, somebody had an idea about how to erase everything. Sure. Yeah, I did that. Good morning.
Take your both hands, shuffle it, and then you could say tap. Palm tap. Yeah. You have to do the palm tap.
Okay, try it next time. Remind me, palm tap.
Yeah.
Okay, Dimple, pick a letter for Dimples. D? And little d is no dimples. What do the parents look like? Both parents have no dimples, right? 2 non-dimpled parents, what are their genotypes? We know them both. They show exactly what they have. If you show recessive, we know you are 2 recessives. All their kids are this. Do any of those kids have dimples? None of them. The answer to this one is 0%. All right, I'm excited. You ready? It's gonna be a good week. All right. In mice, colored coat is dominant to albinism. Pick a letter. A? It's gonna make you think albino's dominant. Probably don't ever want to pick the first letter of the recessive trait.
G.
Y works. G works. Either of those look real different. Let's do Y.
Okay, I got a question.
What happens if you take your pointer finger and you mix 2 of the colors? Does it shade it?
You just need to mix the color.
Shade.
You got.
Yeah, but keep going over the same spot with your pointer finger. See if it gets dark.
$10.
Maybe that's in the next stuff.
All right, big Y is colored, little y is whoa, there you go. Good. Sniffles is a male mouse with a colored coat. So here's Sniffles. Esmeralda is an albino, and they get real weird. They call her alluring, which is weird for a mouse. Okay. The resulting litter of 6 young all have colored fur. We're not over 95% here, but probably what is that second Y for Sniffles? Probably a big Y, since all the offspring are colored. So let's do that and say that's all their offspring. The next time around, Esmeralda was mated with Whiskers, who was the same color as Sniffles. So we do this one where there's Whiskers. We don't know that second one. Here's Esmeralda again. Some of the offspring, some of this litter are white. So what do we know about Whiskers? It's got to be a little Y for any of them to be white. That's right here and white here. These are hetero. Good. So that's the setup. That's just the setup. Letter A, what are the probable genotypes of Sniffles, Esmeralda, and Whiskers? Well, let's see. Sniffles was this one, Esmeralda, Whiskers, right? So Sniffles, big, big, Esmeralda, little, little, Whiskers, big, little. Good. Then, if a male of the first litter is mated to a colored female of the second litter. Okay, so first male and female doesn't matter, does it? Okay, so first litter and then colored female, that'd be this half of second litter. That's just big little crossed with big little. Yeah? Okay, what was the question? What phenotypic ratio? Ooh, did you get? What do we mean by phenotypic ratio again? What's phenotype? How they look. How many ways to look are there for these mice? There's only 2, colored or albino, right? What's the ratio? How many in that box are colored? 3. How many are albino? So the ratio is 3 to 1. A ratio in genetics is always numbers with colons in between it. And those numbers better add up to how many squares there are in your Punnet square unless you reduce, right? If it was 2 to 2, we'd say it was 1 to 1. Everybody good? Does that make sense? Okay, so then, well, okay, it's 3 to 1. We should probably say colored albino. And the last question, what would be the expected result if the male of the first litter was made to an albino from the second? That's just one of these crossed with one of these, which goes big, little, okay, with this. Speaking of reducing ratios, what's the ratio here? 1 to 1. Be 1 to 1. Whether it's genotypic or phenotypic, it's 1 to 1. Let's 1 to 1. Good. That's A, B, C. Everybody okay? Thank you for helping me learn a whole bunch of stuff right there. Cool. Homework for you. We're not going to do any new material today. This is just guided reading from the first part of chapter 11.